And on the front of the house, this is a really bad spot for moisture. There's no drainage, there's no way to get any water out of this area, and it's actually depressed, so water's going to build up and pond in there. And there's been a repair, it looks like, on this corner where they took the rebar and tried to cover it, patch it over the top. Without taking that rebar out, the rebar is still going to keep rusting. The garage over this house is a flat roof, completely flat, and then right over here it transitions up to a tile roof. So this is a common leak source area. You can see some of the staining on the walls. Now, if this moisture and the combination of the moisture outside the wall in this area by the front door, between the front door and the garage, is retaining a lot of moisture, it's gonna build up in here, and when it gets underneath the foundation, it'll wick up the foundation into the rebar, and that's what causes the expansion. So grading and drainage is a huge deal with every house. Doesn't matter the age. Typically houses made in the 80s, 70s, 60s, we're gonna have more problems with grading and drainage because of all the time, of all the materials that have been added to the landscape, roots, irrigation systems, lack of gutters that were installed back then. So there's a lot of different things to look at. So you can see the separation of the wall and the slab right in the middle. We can see this crack starting to form on the inside of the garage wall. Rebar's expanding inside of there. Once the water hits the rebar, it just starts rusting, and it can expand up to 5 times its size. So what it does is it pushes everything out of its way until it blows out the side of the foundation like this. So down here we can see where we've got stucco over the top of the foundation material, separating. And if we move over here a little bit farther, you can see where they've actually tried to patch it. This patch material it's completely hollow underneath because the rebar is expanding and bowing out your foundation wall. Only the best repair for this, you can see the crack going down the line. So when you get horizontal cracks like that, it usually indicates that the rebar inside the foundation has gotten wet and now it's expanding. That rebar inside the foundation can go from the thickness of your finger to the thickness of your fist. So just imagine that expanding that much inside the foundation wall. All this material is going to fall out. It's going to push the material on the inside in. So the best way is to cut all this out and repair it. Have a professional do it. You can't just patch this. It won't go away unless you take that rebar out. What's really important is that we relay these facts to the home buyer accurately. I can't predict how much it's going to cost to repair that. I can't tell them how much or what the severity of damage entails. Best thing I can do is recommend them to a professional foundation repairman that can come in and evaluate and provide an estimate for them so they have an idea of what it's going to cost to repair it. The house isn't falling down, but the rebar needs some attention. So let's get a contractor out to give you an estimate so you know exactly what you're doing, so you know exactly what you're buying.